So let's do some problems, okay, over triangle of parallelogram law of vector addition. In fact, analytical method to add vectors. Okay, so we have discussed the formula for triangle of vector addition. So if I ask you something like that, say for example, there is one vector 10 Newton and there is another vector 10 Newton. Okay, and say for example the angle between them is 60 degree. So I ask you what would be the resultant vector. So if I need to find the magnitude of the resultant vector, the magnitude would be 10 square plus 10 square plus 2 into 10 into 10, that is 100, cos 60. Cos 60 is half, so it is would be 100 100 100. So 100 root would be 10, 10 root 3 would be the magnitude of the resultant vector. But if I ask what would be the angle, so you can solve it completely, but you can also feel it. What would be the angle? In that case, both vectors are equal, so the resultant would be like in the middle. So it is actually a rhombus, na? So the diagonal would bisect the angle, so the resultant vector would go from the middle of the angle. Actually it would bisect into two equal parts, so the result would make 30 degree with the vector, with this vector. So 30 degree, it would bisect into two equal parts, so resultant vector would be 10 root 3 and makes an angle of 30 degree. Okay, so if I say there are, if I ask you like that, there are two vectors and the angle between them is 90 degree, 10 and 10. Okay, this one 10 vector 10 Newton, take these forces and the angle between them is 90 degree. So what would be the resultant vector? So I can again use the formula, which is resultant vector magnitude is 10 square plus 10 square plus 2 into 10 into 10 into cos 90. Angle between the vector is 90 and cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0, so which makes the magnitude of the resultant vector would be 100 plus 100, so that would be 10 root 2. Okay, so in that case the magnitude would be 10 root 2, and the angle which the resultant vector makes with this vector, with the horizontal, would be nothing, because these two vectors are equal, na? These two vectors are equivalent, 10 and 10. So to divide it, so diagonal divide it into two equal angles, so angle would be 45. So you can, it is a good number, 10 root 3 10 root 2. If the angle is 60 degree and the angles vectors are equal, so it becomes that vector root 3, and if the angle is 90, that becomes 10 root 2. You would find it in other places as well. Okay, and we'll do many questions and it would comes to you. So one question is again, if I say sum of two vectors like this is equivalent to difference of two vector, find the angle between them. Find the angle between them. So this is the problem. So for example, if I say there are two vectors A and B and the angle between them is theta A, say for example this is A and this is B, but if I need to find the difference, then A is there, I need to take negative of B. This is B, so in that case I need to take negative of B. I told you, na, difference subtraction is nothing but the negative of addition in this case. So this is theta, then this would become 180 minus theta. And the only thing you need to know in this case, why I took this question here, so that you can easily know the difference of vector as well, because we have already discussed difference of vectors. So cos theta, in that case it would be cos 180 minus theta, that would be negative of cos theta. So in this case, for the difference of vector, you just need to replace the whole formula with negative cos theta. You just need to replace it with the negative of cos theta, nothing else. You don't need to worry about anything, just need to replace with the negative of cos theta. Okay, so let's do the problem. Now this is only maths. So what is the first case? A square plus b square addition of vector plus 2ab cos theta. And the second is a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. These are equal, so this would get cancel out. Actually, vector a plus vector b, their summation is equal to their difference, and difference is represented by negative of just everything is there, a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. So now what I actually get, for a vector b vector, you can take the magnitude of that, mod cos theta equivalent to 0. So eventually cos theta becomes equivalent to 0. That makes theta must be equivalent to 90 degree. So here answer is 90 degree. So it is only possible when the angle between them is 90 degree. Okay, I'll ask you some conceptual question over here. And if I say here, if you pay attention, I ask you vector a plus vector b mod is equivalent to vector a minus vector b, their difference, and it can be there if theta is 90 degree. We just proved that. Can I say that vector a plus vector b is equivalent to vector a minus vector b? Is it true or false? Think. It is false actually, because it is talking about the whole vector, not just the magnitude, also direction. But direction cannot be equal, vector a vector b, their resultant direction is like this. But if I say vector a minus vector b, their resultant direction would be this, their resultant would be this. Okay, this can be equal in magnitude. Okay, this r1 can be equal to r2 in magnitude, but for sure it cannot be equal in direction. So the second statement is wrong. Okay, so let's move to other type of questions. So it's the case, say for example, at a point two forces are acting and their ratio is two forces in the ratio of 3:5 acting at an angle of at an angle of 60 degree, okay, such that the resultant force is 28 Newton. Find each force. Okay, find each force in this case. So what would I do? I would apply again parallelogram law of vector addition, which is like the resultant square is equal to this square individual square plus 2ab cos theta. And what are the individual force? What is the resultant force? 28 Newton. So nothing but the 28 square. Individual force are 3x square. That would be, I'm writing it directly, 3x square would be 9x square, and 5x square 25x square, and twice of 3x 5x, twice of 3x 5x would be like, if I'm not wrong, 30x square, and cos theta is cos 60. Actually cos 60 and cos 60 is half cos 60 degree, so I'm writing it directly. Just please pay attention. There is no point to just add steps and steps. The point is you need to understand things. So 28 square 784, and this is, you can solve it, 15 25 40 49 x square. So 11277 16 x is equal to 4. Here x comes as 4. So individual forces, you can solve it. Individual forces, F1 would come as 3 into 4, that is 12 Newton, and F2 would come 5 into 4, that is 20 Newton. So this is all, it's not such a difficult problem, we can solve it. Okay, so now let's talk something more about these things, special cases. I'll discuss some of the special cases, like what would be the case if theta is 0. If theta is 0, so what would be the, if I need to add two vectors, if I need to add two vectors and the angle between them is theta, and which is 0, then what would I say? A square plus b square plus 2ab cos 0 degree. So it would make them, cos 0 is 1, so just 2ab. So it is actually a plus b whole square, which is actually a plus b. So square cancel out. So in that case, r vector is nothing, just the sum of these two vectors, just two vectors direct sum. Second case, if I say theta is equal to 180, theta is equal to 180, in that case, so r vector square magnitude mod would be equivalent to a vector square plus b vector mod of b vector square. Can you see that? Okay, then twice of a b cos 180 degree, which is -1, which is -1. So it makes a minus b. R vector is actually the difference of the two vectors. Okay, this would be minus 2ab, which is actually nothing but the a minus b vector whole square. I hope you're understanding this thing, because cos 180 would be -1, so negative 2ab, and square cancel out, and the other things as well. So basically the resultant of two vectors, the maximum value, it would be the sum of two vectors direct, and the minimum value is the difference of the two vector. So it range from, this is r minimum, resultant minimum, this is r max, so it can range from there to there only, their difference to their sum. And we have discussed about if theta is, already discussed if theta is, third case is like if theta is equivalent to 90 degree, so that would be cos 90 would 0, so r square would be only a square plus b square, only this would be the case. Okay,